Alright, I'm back for the fourth and final round, and we have won the die roll, so elect to play. Yeah, I'll keep. This hand is okay, but I'm gonna do a lot of damage to myself, probably 6 or 7 damage to cast all these spells, but that's just kind of the nature of this deck. And I'm gonna fire off this Thoughtseize on turn 1, because I plan to curve Thoughtseize, Lion, Charm. We'll see if our opponent elects to keep or not. This hand is an interesting one. I'm really hoping to draw more creatures. With double Abzan Charm, like an Anafenza would be like basically the perfect draw for this hand. Just something to make our Abzan Charms good both offensively and defensively. Although we can also use Abzan Charm to draw too, which we may end up having to do that at some point. Also, Urborg would be a pretty sweet draw. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe not that good. We'll have already fired off our Thoughtseize and Lion by then, but it will make like this Windswept Teeth and this Plains and this Caves a little bit better. Alright, so our opponent has kept. Let's go ahead and see what they're playing. The old drop to 17 to Thoughtseize you. Alright. Okay, it looks like team are monsters, so 4 lands, 3 spells. Huh. So we're left with 2 options here. We can take a creature or a lightning strike. Um, if we take the lightning strike, that protects our Fleecemane Lion, and we can Abzan Charm Knuckleblade and Abzan Charm Ashcloud Phoenix, but that leaves us in a weak position if my opponent just draws another creature. Alternatively, we could take the Savage Knuckleblade, let our opponent Lightning Strike our Fleecemane Lion, and then go from there. And I think I like that a little bit better. Also, that gives our opponent to mess up. If they try to Lightning Strike our Fleecemane in combat, we can Abzan Charm it to make it a 5/5. So I'm going to take the Knuckleblade and uh, hopefully that works out for us. The Teamer deck has a lot of threats, so I think trying to um, I have 2 removal spells for their 2 threats is a risky proposition. And I have a lot of creatures in my deck, so I'm bound to draw more, hopefully eventually. Alright, there's the bivouac. Another Thoughtseize. That's an interesting draw because now I could fire off Thoughtseize here and strip the Lightning Strike to clear the way for my Fleecemane Lion. Or I could just play the Lion and have my opponent Lightning Strike it. This is a really tough decision. I think that I'm going to cast Fleecemane Lion. this may end up being an incorrect decision, but and I'm gonna really hope my opponent doesn't just snap off a main phase lightning strike, and then I can maybe Abzan charm it. So there's a Wood of Foothills, and there's a fetch. And there's a strike. Alright. So here let's go ahead and Thoughtseize. Really done a lot of damage to myself. Alright, my opponent just has all lands. So if I had done the other play, I would have been in better shape. So alright, well, let's take the only takeable card and put a land on the bottom. So now I'm looking for like a Siege Rhino would just be the perfect draw. Alright. And my opponent drew an Heir of the Wilds. I'm just gonna cast this Herald, and if my opponent, I'm gonna just trade here because I don't want to take unnecessary damage. Pelucranos. Yep, still trading. Alright, this Thoughtseize is... God, that was the worst draw. My opponent has 2 lands in their hand, so... I'm gonna do this now to play around like Temur Charm. Alright, my opponent drew another land. Alright, I think I just pass again. If my opponent doesn't play a creature, then I'll draw 2. A Morph. Rattleclaw Mystic, I guess. Alright, I'll draw 2 and lose 2 then. Rhino, perfect. That was probably the worst draw. That was probably the worst thing we could have seen from our opponent. I can't block her. He can just pump. I'm glad he didn't. I was gonna be able to try to win in a couple turns with Herald, but at this point, I think I just have to cast the Lion. This would be a super level if this was actually an Ashcloud Phoenix. I'm pretty sure that it's not though. I'll go ahead and cast this too. So then next turn I can monstrous my Lion. So I could double block his Knuckleblade. No, I think I have to leave the Rhino back. Um, that way I can double block with like Rhino and Herald and force my opponent to kill one or the other, not both. Okay. Air is okay. Alright, Confluence is not a great draw. Here I have to start getting in for damage. So let's attack with this Herald. Oh man. Alright, good. My opponent drew a land. Not bad. Still no value in attacking with any of these ground creatures. We'll get this Heir of the Wilds out there. I am dead to a lot of things. I feel like I'm dead to a lot of things. That was a bad draw. So if I attack with this Heir of the Wilds, my opponent can just block with Knuckleblade and bounce it, and then um, replay it and give it haste, and then crash with the team. That puts me in kind of an unenviable position. Maybe that's fine though. So if I attack like this, my opponent might do something like trade with his Heir as well. Yeah, so let's attack like this. Might be a loose attack, but I want to put as much pressure on my opponent and try to get my opponent to make a mistake here. I feel like I had to have done something wrong this game to lose. Maybe I should have just taken that lightning strike and had my Fleeceman line the entire game, but I don't know. I did end up using, I guess I used one Abzan charm to draw cards, so. Alright, hopefully this isn't an Ash Cloud Phoenix. Oh, it's a Rattleclaw, good. Okay, so that, oh no, what is this? Boon Satyr? Ooh. Jeez. I'm dead. If my opponent attacks with everything, I'm dead. Man, that's rough. I did not see Boon Satyr coming. I think I was just dead. Was I just dead to Boon Satyr? No, if I left back the other thing, I was fine. So now it's like super risk. I mean, if my opponent attacks me all out, I'm dead. But they have to basically put themselves dead on the swing back to do it. So it's a very risky attack for them. I feel like me not casting anything though is or playing a removal spell is pretty clear that I don't have one. Maybe not. Uh, well, neither of us drew very well that game. Unfortunately, we lost. All right, Seeker gets cut again because it's not the kind of game we're trying to play. I want Despise, Downfall, and Hunt the Hunter. And yeah, I think Herald's really bad in this matchup. I'll keep one Ascendancy. I think Ascendancy could be good. Um, Herald's just super bad in this matchup, though. We saw it was not very good, and I drew multiples of them. But I like this configuration a lot. So, uh, yeah, we'll run with this and see how this goes. Maybe Sorin might be better than the Ascendancy. We'll see. Such an awkward game. Trying to think what went wrong. I could have attacked with that one turn with Siege Rhino, leaving myself vulnerable to swing back, and traded two of my guys for his Knuckleblade. Maybe that was right. Alright, we'll keep this hand. It's a little awkward though. I need both. Alright. I need both land and removal. I will lead with a Death Dealer here because I don't care if my opponent kills it, and this lets me, just swing in pretty unimpeded if they do kill it. If they do kill it, I'll just play air next turn or something. Rattleclaw or air, okay. Yeah, so I get a free 2 points here, and I think I'm just gonna play another Death Dealer. I don't want to trade my air for his air, but I do want to trade this Death Dealer for it. So if he doesn't play a Knuckle Blade here, I can just trade. If he doesn't trigger Ferocious. And if he does play Knuckle Blade, then I can attack for 4. Because he can't really block a Death Dealer with a Knuckle Blade. I guess he could, and I could just pump and trade. Yeah, I guess that could happen. Yeah, let's go ahead and just trade him off. That air is going to be really annoying for the Siege Rhino. Feels like a Teamer Charm. Teamer Charm or maybe it's either Teamer Charm or it's Boon Satyr. It's probably Boon. This looks like a Boon Satyr. I like our position here. We're like one removal spell away from like winning this game, I think. Because like if my opponent plays like an Ash Cloud Phoenix this turn or something, it's kind of awkward. I don't know if these trades are right. Maybe I should be playing differently. Knuckle. Okay, I like Thoughtseize as a draw here. We also get a free attack because my opponent can't block, or I just double pump. So I could play Rhino, but I like Thoughtseize and Offenza a lot more. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Oh, it's gonna get Stubborn Niled? No. Alright, well my opponent does have Stubborn Nile. So it's Knuckle, Rattle, Denial. I'm taking Pelucranos because I don't have a removal spell. Knuckle Blades I can punch through with Anafenza and Air of the Wilds and Death Dealer, but Pelucranos is going to be a huge thorn in my side, so I'm going to take that, and then I think I can beat these other cards. I'm glad my opponent didn't Stubborn Denial there. That would have been actually bad for me. I don't have a spell to cast, so that worked out pretty well. I'm not sure Stubborn Denial is the kind of card that this deck wants in this matchup because of like Thoughtseize and also my all my removal spells kill these 4 power guys, so that it's hard to like have Stubborn Denial mana sometimes, but it will definitely be very good in this game if I draw like an Abzan Charm. Alright, my opponent's just keeping back to pump. So as a result, I can't really attack with Anafenza because he just pump and block, but I can still attack with Rakshasa. Actually, this is a bad attack. I should have just played arrow. I should have just played my creature and passed, because that makes him waste his entire turn. So now I'm trading my Death Dealer for his Knuckle Blade, but I'm not getting anywhere. Yeah, this was just bad. Oh well. If I had just cast Rhino instead and passed the turn, I'd be just in significantly better shape. Because my opponent would still be under the same pressure as before. Yeah, that was really bad. The one card I'm hoping my opponent does not draw is Ash Cloud Phoenix. That is the only card I do not want to see. Polukranos would be kind of bad too, but Phoenix is the worst. Morph. Okay, that's probably Rattleclaw Mystic. Setting up for a big turn next turn, I guess. Another Anafenza. I think we put that on the bottom. And my opponent has a Stubborn Denial and a Savage Knuckleblade. Yeah, we really butchered this game a lot. I'm kind of annoyed by that. If I should definitely still have. Yeah. Now my opponent can just play this Knuckleblade and has the mana to pump it on defense. And if I still had Death Dealer here, I could just just win anyway. So here, if I attack with both, I trade my Siege Rhino for this Morph. That seems really bad. I'd rather just play Air. Next turn I can probably crash in because my Air becomes a 4/4. I would have 3 lethal attackers if my opponent doesn't play anything. Which it seems unlikely that my opponent doesn't have anything to play. We know they have a Stubborn Denial, but we don't know the other cards. Probably, I think my opponent missed a land drop earlier in the game, so I don't think that they have more lands in their hand, unless they just drew one. That's unfortunate. Oh, that mistake's costing me. God, I hate making mistakes like that. It's frustrating. I just played right into the onboard. Morph. Probably another Rattleclaw Mystic. Now I'm just gonna float out and die. Side out my. Let's see. What do I have that I can draw that would be really good? Yep. Man, that's so frustrating. This game should have already been over, and I'm gonna lose. So. I don't even honestly know what I can draw since I know my opponent has Stubborn Nile in their hand. I don't think there's any draw. Okay, well we have a plan now, I guess. Draw another Rhino. Siege Rhino cannot get Stubborn Aniled, so... No! What? No! Really? Come on! Disdainful Stroke? Ugh! I only have Siege Rhino! That is the only card that can get Disdainful Strokes. God, that is so frustrating. Ah. Why? I don't understand why people bring that card in. It's so frustrating. I mean, I guess if it was anything else, I'd be even worse shape, but I still can draw like another Rhino, I guess. I misplayed this game so bad. No! Stop drawing good stuff. God. Okay, I'm dead. I mean, my opponent's draw wasn't even. My opponent didn't even draw that well. Like, they drew some bricks in there too, but. And there's the Abzan charm, finally, but doesn't matter. Uh. Can't attack. If I just cast Siege Rhino that turn. Sorry to keep harping on that. I really hate losing like that. It's really frustrating when I know that I could have won if I had just played right. But oh well. A lesson for next time. That's game. Alright, well hopefully you guys enjoyed this videos. Unfortunately I went 2 and 2. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna probably do like a short conclusion actually to follow this up with. Just to talk about the deck a little bit and some of the things I learned. So stay tuned for that actually. That'll follow up after this.